things before we get started today. If you know someone who wants to play in a G-Americ game, send them my way. I'd love to talk to them about either getting into a one-shot or joining a campaign waitlist. Those one-shots are going to be very limited for the holidays. I'm still trying to work out exactly when those are going to happen, but there's going to be very few spots, so look for those when those get announced. Those will be announced early over at patreon.com/GMeric. Go check that out. We got a lot of fun stuff on there. We did an art preview on there just a couple days ago. Also, the GM tip videos and archives go up over on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. If you do like those, do hit the thumbs up. It does help me out a ton. And the clip contest is currently going on, and the prize for that is going to be really neat. I don't want to tell you what it is yet, but it will be announced soon. So if there's a moment from a episode you like, throw the timestamp or a clip into the clip contest channel. You'll be automatically entered for a really cool prize. Lastly, if you do enjoy the holidays, go ahead and pick up a Holiday Iris magnet over at gmeric.com right on the front page. These are awesome. They do prevent rust monsters near your fridge or near your car, as long as this is on there. If you do see a rust monster, take a picture, take a photo, send it to me, and I'll give you your money back on the magnet. Otherwise, guys, let's get you guys started, because it's time for you guys to start up and play some D&D, because we got a lot to cover today. All right, everyone got their moose? We're good. Here we go. You guys are adventuring in the lands of Toivoa. Specifically, we are out here in the seas just off the coast of Shu, as you guys have spent the last several weeks coming around the Horn of the Ancient Wastes, dealing with all sorts of undead and ghostly apparitions, and last week, dealing with the Judge of the Dead in a trial of Covet von Sin. Now, as you approach the shoreline for your first port stop since Shimahaba, you guys are aboard the Manigath's Might, a mighty ship of the Shinozen Protectorate, and with your friends, you're looking for political power. Here we are, sailing along. You guys can arrive in Shunju in the next 4 hours. What would you guys like to do?
Hey guys, we should be arriving in Shunju in about 4 hours.
Got one job on this ship.
And count is now 1. With everything that happened, Covet would like to go around to everyone and just let them know how much it meant to her that they had her back, even though it was brought to her attention that she is particularly bossy.
Apparently, everyone is stunned by your appreciation and magnanimousness.
But you're not bossy whatsoever. Did I say that right?
Good job. Mwah. She gives him a kiss on the cheek.
We could not hear Winkle there.
They didn't hear you.
I didn't understand. What do you want me to do again?
You're supposed to tell Covet that she's not bossy.
Oh, yeah. Covet, you're not bossy at all.
You don't know how much that means to hearing that. Oh my goodness.
So, Ayla, what are you doing this morning?
I am taking store of what we have and don't have in the galley, what kinds of supplies I think we'll need, and I'm giving so that I can make a list and give it to Lauren.
Okay. Well, as you look around the galley, things are sparse. You've had to deal with the create food and water because you've been traveling for over a week to get here. You guys didn't stock up on too much, just some basics. So, if you want to have nice food going down the coast, this might be a good opportunity to restock.
And that's essentially what I'm going to tell is Lauren that I can magically make food and water, but if they want nice things to eat, then we need to buy supplies to make nice things with.
Naturally. And I'll see to it. They're important.
Eowyn, did you ever decide on whether or not we're actually going to deliver this letter in its entirety or without some additional ingredients? Or is the letter not getting delivered at all?
Eowyn? Did you decide if you're going to deliver the letter or not, or were you going to wait and determine that when you arrive?
I will be delivering it.
Okay. So it sounds like Eowyn intends to deliver the letter.
With the additional ingredients or without? Is this a full-bodied letter or is it only half sweet?
Pardon? Do you mean with or without the powder?
Of course. No. Wink.
Um, without?
Okay. Hopefully it will work out.
All right. So you guys ready to arrive in Shunju, or is there any other preparation you'd like to do before pulling into the port?
Did we get a long rest last night?
You did.
Before we get into the port, at the last port, it was brought to my attention that our presentation often impressive. So I will around instructions on how we should present ourselves to this port. Playing the flag is fine, but still not have the ballistas pointed at the shore and not be necessarily in full military position.
So you will not have the ballistas pointed at the shore?
Right.
Okay.
This slightly confuses or perplexes Twilight because it's going against protocol. I didn't think the ambassador of the protectorate went against protocol.
Shall I say that out loud?
I think he would more mumble it to himself out loud as opposed to directly challenging Islam, but it would still be a curiosity of his. When you heard it, though, that's still to be determined.
Please roll a perception check, Islarin, to see if you heard it.
She heard it.
So, Islarin,
Yeah, she heard it.
this mumbling and muttering and, for lack of a better term, belly aching does not go unheard. Do you do anything about it or say anything?
I just look at Twilight. Well, I think I'll think what I'll say is it's difficult to hear what is said quietly, sound of the sea and the wind. Something you wanted to say?
I'm gonna need you to speak up today, Jordan.
Ironic, what I just said.
Yep.
Sorry.
I said it can be difficult to hear. One speaks quietly. Sounds. There's something you wanted to say?
Oh no, I was just wondering that I didn't realize that there was a change to the Protectorate publications on how to approach a foreign port.
There had been no change. However, perhaps understanding the way one is received is more important than the specific protocol and should be adapted to the needs of situation and to the people that are being approached.
You're being sensitive to the cultural awareness and adapting accordingly?
That not an ambassador's job?
Is that standard Protectorate protocol to adapt accordingly?
It is now. She's the ambassador. She can create what protocol she wants.
Interesting. I didn't think ambassadors operated that way. I'll have to think on this.
Are you asking because you believe this to be unusual for ambassadors or unusual for the protector?
Yes.
I see.
Ambassadors are typically a reflection of the state or nation with which they represent and are usually a facsimile of such protocols, values, morals, aspirations, goals, desires, and the like. So to see a change or deviation from that may or may not be in direct conflict is interesting, a curiosity.
Maybe.
And we.
Please continue. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Maybe it is a better way to build bridges rather than burn them.
But does that create a false pretense with the nation with which you reflect?
Maybe a. How do I put this? Maybe a. More of a welcoming to negotiation. More approachable rather than force.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I was just saying it was a curiosity. I didn't expect it. But what was that song? I'm sorry.
No, I simply said indeed.
If you come in with a feeling, a look of force, then you will have more animosity and less cooperation.
Depends on the desired outcome.
Well, as a new ambassador, wouldn't you want to, I don't know, for lack of a better phrase, build bridges?
Considering that they sail the oceans, that's a really long bridge.
And one for Twilight.
Well, as you guys are pulling into the port, you see people scurrying and running away. Your ship has been noticed, and the port of Chunju is preparing for war.
Well,
Oh,
I'm glad we stood down a little bit.
You see that their defenses are non-existent. They are attempting to grab pikes and spears as a protectorate vessel is visiting this beach. What would you guys like to do as you are approaching the shoreline?
I think I will stand on the edge of the ship with both of my hands visible and neither on my trident. Not putting my hands up as in a surrender, but them extended to my sides. Gesture of peace and goodwill.
Interesting. Please roll a persuasion check. A 17. As you're standing there, a woman steps forward, strong, wearing brown pants and a brown sleeveless shirt. Her rope belt is modest, but her muscles are very well defined. She looks at the ship with a spear. Yeah, she works out. Based off of her build and her clothing, she's a fisher person. She looks at the ship and at Islarin off the side of it and shouts, "What is your business here, Protectorate? We are Shu."
I will respond back, not quite shouting, but projecting. Miss Lauren, daughter of Denrin and Kolos, ambassador of the Shinobi Protectorate, are here to resupply.
Resupply? One ship? How do we know that you are not spies?
I would be happy to discuss this.
Can you repeat that?
I would be happy to discuss this.
You'd be happy to discuss this. She looks at you. A protectorate willing to discuss things. And the moon will fall from the sky into the sea.
Really? Where?
You look at Bleakle about to fall over the side.
Do you happen to know where that landed?
Is the Protectorate now in the business of being idiots?
Covet steps away from Twilight.
I did not realize that the Protectorate allowed men to speak.
Some of us aren't members of the Protectorate.
Most of us are not members of the Protectorate.
Oh God. She.
Here, such insolence from a man would have him flogged.
She put Covet.
Here, they are not on your land.
Yep, there you go. I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet.
If you wish to resupply, you will have to come ashore. You may do so without being attacked as long as you show no aggression.
Our plan. We hold no aggression toward you or your people. Our mission does not concern the area of the world. We are merely passing.
Truly. Fine. Come ashore. Buy your goods and leave. You guys want to hop in the dinghy and head to shore?
I look at Islarin and I say, by your leave, Captain. It's her boat. That was her wedding gift.
Getting into the digging.
You get into the dinghy, okay?
I follow.
I thought Ramos was the captain. You're saying Isaran's the captain, but she's the ambassador.
They're co-captains.
Interesting.
Shush, or you're going to get us all killed.
Come on, Winkle, let's go to
Winkle
shore
just
before we
kinda
get killed
hop-
up here.
Hops into the boat.
All right. Eowyn, are you getting in the dinghy or are you going to stay on the ship?
I'm getting in as well.
All right. So, as the six of you hop in the dinghy, the little boat is weighed down, but because this beach is a very gradual incline, you're able to come ashore easily without getting rolled in any breakers. As you arrive, the woman puts her spear in the sand and steps forward to assist the boat in landing. She looks at you all. You brought your men ashore. Interesting. At least you understand that servants are necessary. I am Funai. Welcome to Chunju. As long as you do not have ill will, you are welcome. Should that change, it will change.
We are grateful for your hospitality.
She looks at you. I have provided none of that. She reaches over to grab her spear, which you now realize is not a spear, but actually a harpoon. She looks at you all. Do your business. Your ship and your people are being watched. When you are done, leave. We have no interest in high politics or wars. We're a simple fishing village that wishes to remain at peace.
It is a beautiful
awesome.
village.
Your words are butter on bread, honey on toast. Thank you.
Oh, you are most welcome. It is truly lovely.
You'll excuse me. I have fish to unload. And she's going to walk towards a nearby vessel, where she's going to start assisting in the unloading of fish.
Twilight will whisper to Covet, "Why don't fishing villages ever play cards?" Because the deck's always stacked with the tails of the ones that got away.
She sighs and then stomps on his foot. Quiet.
Well, I
don't
take
want-
your inspiration.
I've already got one at the moment, so I'll pass it to whoever needs it.
In this case, denied. So, all right. So you guys have access to the village of Chunju. There's not much to see here. It's mostly residential areas, some shops. Generally, it's just a normal village. There's people bustling about, going about their day. Where are we going? What are we doing?
So
Why?
first, I think
Go for it.
he's got general supplies, food,
Okay.
water, herbs.
All right. So you guys go towards one of the general stores. Awesome. As you guys arrive, there's a beautiful older woman in the store. She's got her hair done up in a bun. It's silver. She's got a very kind face and is in a pale cream robe with trimmed in blue. She looks at you guys as you enter. Ah, the foreigners. Welcome. Welcome. She bows deeply at your entrance.
I'll match her bow in return.
It is rare to see someone so armored here in Chunju. Why have you come?
We are here on a long mission. We need to
You need to resupply.
read.
Well, we will provide you with what we can in exchange for coins.
Of course. We would always seek to trade in fair value.
Of course. Oh, what exactly did you need?
Cause no trouble whatsoever. I will relay the list of supplies that Ayla suggested.
Okay. Cool. So, what was the list of supplies? And this person's name is Maeda Yasu, just for the record.
And how do we spell the city as well?
Chunju. It is Chunju. Should be on your maps.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that awesome mouse pad yet. It's gonna happen though.
Yeah, we'll see. So, what supplies did you need?
Well, I had obviously put things down like salt and pepper.
Chivo,
Any available.
how much do you want?
spices. How much am I buying for, is Lauren? For a week, 2 weeks, 3?
I say longer.
I mean, are we going to stop again before we reach my island? I don't know.
Expect that we should prepare as if
Covet looks at Twilight and says, "Servant, how long is it until we get to the island?" She looks at him pointedly, knowing that he is well versed in navigation and all that stuff, nautical.
So, Twilight's Call, as you're being called servant, will you lean into your understanding of the political climate, or will you rebel against it?
while giving a look to Covet of, oh, she's going to pay for that later. He lean into the political climate with which he finds himself in.
All right. So please roll your survival check to determine your estimation of how long it's going to take you to get south from here. With a 26, sir, unless something goes wrong, because what could possibly go wrong?
Of course.
Right.
What always goes wrong?
Yeah, well, it's going to take you the better part of a month and a half to get down to Ayla's island.
Mistress, at our current rate of travel, it will take us no less. Correction. Yes, no less than a month and a half at our current rate. Should there be other unfortunate circumstances, interactions, or other delays that are beyond projections, it may take upwards of 2 or more.
At that point, Covet will come up to him and run her fingers through his hair, scratching his scalp, because she knows that will help with some of the sting that she's probably going to get later. And just, and it's just like, thank you so much for that information. Well done. And she looks at Islaren and Ayla and says, a minimum of a month and a half. Might want more because we might have problems.
Proprietor looks at this display. I once had a pet that behaved as well as he does.
Oh, it has taken so much training. I'm certain that you had to train yours as well.
Oh, he was very well trained until he turned me into a widow.
Oh my.
How dare he? He's so rude to turn you into a widow.
Indeed.
So troublesome.
I did not give him permission to die.
He must have been very, very special to you as well.
He was useful.
As those who are special to you usually are.
He made the best sandwiches while barefoot.
Oh dear.
But you seek spices for a month and a half? This way.
Let's say for 2 months, just to be on the safe side.
Oh, a journey indeed. Are you going deeper into the waters? As she begins getting entire scoops and satchels of spices for you.
I don't know. You would have to ask the ambassador. We've been staying fairly close to the shoreline, which means that I can usually fish for different seafoods and things. But of course, we'll need things like flour and some good wines and maybe some rum.
Of course. But why do you wish to go to the
Ayla,
north?
Can you see if we have?
Oh no, we're going south.
Mooseberry bush. Mooseberries.
If you have any mooseberries, that would be nice too. But I know they're hard to find in this part of the country.
They are indeed. But we have recently had a series of adventurers come from the high mountains, and they have brought some. They're dried, though.
That will be fine. They will be marvelous in cookies and cakes and things of that nature.
She looks at you. Are you certain?
They make
Oh
it
yes,
light.
you see my servant, and
Yes.
she points Winkle. And I do this when he's done a very good job, and it's a good reward for him.
I very well. And she's going to bring you a sack of moose berries that are dried. She looks at you. These are not good, but perhaps someone else's taste is more acquired.
I think that's probably the case. He seems to be quite fond of them, so to each their own.
Indeed. So will I add this to the tab, or will your servant be paying for this out of his own hide?
Put them on the tab because he does do a lot of work for us. He is an excellent archer, and he has been helpful to us on more than one occasion.
I'm very pleased to hear that. Based off of his stature, he must be quite the good shot with a bow.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Does he shoot his shot often?
He has, he's pretty much a sure shot when we need it, but he gets shot a lot too.
She looks at Twilight
He's,
and raises 2 eyebrows.
I said, and her servant over there is also an excellent archer, and between the two of them, we are quite safe from things at a distance.
She smiles
that.
broadly. It is different here in Shu. It is interesting to see the relations between people aboard a ship and how they are so diverse.
Oh yes. If you have any jerky of any type or any other dried meats, just a little bit of that would help. I don't want a month and a half supply because I do fish and get a lot of good fresh fish out of the waters here.
Yes. We do have jerky, and we have much of it. The wolves are quite proficient in the hunt. And she will take you over to a bin of jerkies. And so, how much are we spending on food? You wanted a month and a half's worth of food for all the people? All right, let me go ahead and get that for you here. And are we going to be doing good food, or are we going to do meh food?
We're going to do good food.
All right.
I have the ambassador here.
Awesome. So, based off of the number of people on the ship, you have the 5 crew people, being the 4 plus 1. So that's 5, plus the 6 of you. That's going to be 11. And something happened there. Who did we lose? I think we lost Winkle? Nope, something's going on. There we go. All fixed. All right, so 11 times 5 silver. So it's going to be, we'll say 5.5 gold per day. You're going to multiply that by 45 days. That's going to cost you 250 gold.
No problem.
She looks at this as you are handing her over a year's pay with no problem. It's shocking at the amount of wealth that you are displaying. Is this normal for the Protectorate to be so wealthy?
Oh, well, this isn't from the Protectorate. This is from my pocket.
Oh dear. An individual is so wealthy.
I am from the Carrerial Isle, and I have been blessed tremendously. So I don't mind sharing my good fortune with those that I travel with.
You realize that with your wealth, you could rule Chunju.
I have no desire to rule. I travel and have met all these wonderful people. The ambassador is a personal friend, as well as her husband, who is the head of the military. And then, of course, there's, yes, I know, uh, but I have met so many wonderful people. I don't mind sharing.
Well, I appreciate it so much, mistress. You are blessed, such an old woman, both with the presence of yourself, your coins, and with the delight of the eyes that are such strong, strapping men.
Um, I'm going to turn and look at Twilight and Winkle. Winkle's having to restart his computer, by the way. And ask these two gentlemen if they would be so kind as to take these supplies back to the ship for us.
Um,
Mistress, it would be difficult for us to leave your side.
um, I do have a question. As if you do not consider it impertinent for me to ask.
Go ahead.
It has been many years since I have had companionship. Are either of your servants available? I could provide you with a 10% discount.
I'm sorry, I don't believe either one of them are available at this point in time.
Such a shame.
If you were
Uh-oh, am I hearing that Winkle might be available?
No, he couldn't hear because he's restarting his
Okay.
computer. He didn't hear what that was about.
Okay. Understood. She looks... Oh, such a shame. Very well. The Oh, oh, yeah, I see that. I'll get to it.
Okay, just want to make sure it's.
Yep. I could have provided knowledge, but thank you for the business.
Thank you for helping us.
Indeed. Safe travels, and be wary of what lies to the south. Dangers and unknown monsters are throughout Toivoa. The fact that you have come from the south only to visit and return is remarkable.
Yes, yes, but I look forward to going home.
Why did you come this far north?
It's a very long story, but believe me, there was a good reason.
I have much time.
Well, we've been ordered to get our supplies and leave, so I kind of have to go at this point in time.
Oh, I thought you were the mistress. I apologize.
No, I'm just in charge of supplies.
Understood. Then go well. May your travels
Thank you, ma'am.
southwards be safe as they can be.
Thank you, ma'am.
She bows deeply as you guys are headed out. Is there any other general goods, food, supplies you need? Covet's looking around for a candle of the temple hearth, a item made of wax that would equal the value of this entire town twice over.
It doesn't hurt to look.
As Covet is looking around, she will be disappointed to not find one.
Okay. But are there any other hidden gems that, along those lines, that she would look for?
You can roll your perception check.
Are the deep bonds of this community not to the
Oh,
people
you are
who-
breaking up like nothing else.
We have a
I'm
hard
saying,
time
are the
hearing
deep
you.
bonds of this community itself not itself a hidden gem?
25. They are. But
With the 25 covet, as you look around, you realize that you are being watched by someone out in the street. As you turn to catch a glimpse, they run away.
was that anybody of note? We were told that we were going to be watched.
Whoever that was, they were watching you, and the moment you looked at them, they ran away. That's kind of suspicious. If you were being watched by someone legitimate, why would they run away? But inside this shop, you're going to notice that there's several secret doors and a couple of hidden traps that are not being triggered by you guys walking over them. You see a series of wires that go beneath the rice mats to behind the counter where this woman can control them.
I walk
Is-
over to.
This entire room is a death trap.
I walk
Is
over.
this a different shop?
Nope, same shop.
No, it's the shop.
Shop.
So I walk over to Isfarin as casually as possible and say, I believe that now that we have received our provisions, that we probably should be along our way. Giving a look, but making it very covert, where only people who have known each other for a long time, and traveled together would know something that it's serious.
It's time to leave the pit stop.
She looks at Eowyn and Twilight and everybody, but gives everybody a look that is very covert. Of, I believe, we've finished our business. We should be on our way.
Oh, you guys ready to leave?
I'm ready to leave the shop.
Okay. You guys can go ahead and depart the little shop. Safe travels.
Good fortune for you as well.
Until we meet again.
Could have said Eowyn.
Not in that place. I haven't got. As we step outside, she leans over to Twilight and says, "There is no guarantee we would have been able to get him out of there. That place was,
And Eowyn deserves someone who would treat him as an equal.
not a slave." So, wasn't there something else that needed to be done? And she kind of looks around the group, hesitating on Eowyn just a little bit.
I'm sorry, Twilight. Just try and tell Cavett to hook me up with that woman.
No, of course.
No. No, 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 no. Is there anything else that we need to do in the city? And she looks pointedly at Eowyn.
Eowyn, is there anything you want to do in this city?
I suppose I should find who I'm looking for now.
Okay. How would you like to go about doing that?
Give me a minute to pull.
So, as you're pulling up the letter, we're looking at Mr. Verm's letter 1.
It's the one with Ivy, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You're looking for Ivy Seraphine.
I just need to figure out which library she's at.
Okay. So, how would you like to try to find her?
Now, does anyone in my party familiar with this place?
No one's been here before.
Right.
Tell him the moose is in the hoose.
The moose is in the hoose. Okay.
Oh.
It's, I suppose I should ask locals.
You gonna ask some locals? All right. Let's roll an investigation check. What exactly are you asking?
I'm just asking for the libraries in town
Okay.
and a bit more detail on them.
Cool. So you go looking around for a library and you ask around. With a 13 investigation check, it's not hard to find one of the libraries. It's a very nice place, aristocratic, but sparse. Very, very sparse to the point that there's no books when you guys arrive. You guys walk into what they called the library. It looks like this.
Well,
Oh,
this
this
is a
place looks
strange
lovely.
library. Strange library, though. It is pretty.
What did you say, Eowyn? Sorry.
Oh, I just said it was pretty.
It is quite lovely.
As you walk in, you see that there's a place to take off your shoes. And you guys want to come inside? And do you do so barefoot or not?
Barefoot.
Okay.
Twilight will do as his mistress does.
I have to take off my shoes.
Okay. Winkle?
I do what Ayla tells me, and because I've never been in a library.
It's like going into a
I'm-
china shop with a bull.
I'm sorry, does
Full
Blinkle
moose.
even wear shoes?
Does Winkle even wear shoes? That's a good question. Winkle, do you wear boots?
No, I do not.
Okay.
That was a good question.
I never noticed.
Lost them again.
I think that no, you didn't lose anybody. We can hear you just fine. So, Ayla, apparently you've been distracted by other parts of Winkle to distract from the hooves.
Yeah, I would think so.
Just
But I
never
never
looked that
noticed
low, huh?
Yeah.
It's those eyes. They just keep drawing you up
Oh,
there.
I know. They melt.
He's so cute.
I know.
The eyes
He's
are
got
up
such
here.
a fuzzy
The eyes are
little
up here.
face.
The eyes up here, the quivering moose lips. Yeah.
Chocolate chip ice cream.
Chocolate chip ice cream, yes.
I don't get this reference, and I'm not sure I want to.
You don't want to. You don't want to. You don't want to.
Understood. I think I understand the reference, even though I don't want to get it. Understood.
You're welcome. My life has been scarred.
Understood. I think there's an episode of the IT Crowd where we cover this. All right. So, you guys walk into this place. You don't see anybody here. Can I get stealth checks from everybody?
Oh, that's. Oh.
No. Good.
Stealth?
Yes, please.
It's in the middle long column.
Yeah, I see it. Did mine go through?
Not yet.
It is not only not good at being stealthy, but she's not particularly aware of any need to be, so yeah, not stealthy at all.
Where I have to push.
What?
I got it set where I have to push the button. Where do I do that?
Where's your map?
All right. So, as you guys walk in, Islarin takes a step into this place. The floor begins to jingle and sing like nightingales.
No, that's not what I wanted.
What?
This would be a rather distracting environment for a library.
I need. Okay, where?
Are we really in the right place?
Islarin, you sense someone, and then you feel the presence behind you. You are not in the right place. Do not belong here. Who are you?
Um,
Who are you?
I'm really sorry for intruding. I was only asked to deliver a letter to Ivy's affair.
A letter delivered to Ivy Seraphine. From whom?
Is his name Blue Bonnet? That's a out of character question.
Yes.
Last name?
Bluebonnet Verm.
The letter's delivered from Mr. Bluebonnet.
She looks at you. I do not know this name.
Are you aware of where I could find Ivy?
She looks at you. And she narrows her eyes. Why? Give me the letter. I will deliver it to Ivy.
Are you sure you will?
I am certain I will. You doubt my honor?
I don't doubt it. It's just I don't really know you.
It will be delivered to Ivy Seraphine. I'm not used to being talked to this way by a man. Give me the letter, servant.
I'm not. I'll hand the letter to her.
Good. Thank you. Now, what other business do you have here?
That is all the business I have here.
You came simply to deliver a letter.
Is that wrong?
She narrows her eyes at you. It is not wrong, but it is odd. And she goes to open the letter. She takes a dagger out, puts it into the crease of the envelope.
Everyone will.
Eowyn's going to what?
I muted myself by accident. He will stop her, but not in a rude or hostile manner, just by putting his hand on top of hers and saying, I think Ivy should be the one to open it. It's rather private.
He looks at you. I am Ivy Seraphine. And she takes the dagger and slides it into the envelope and slices it open. As she does so,
Well, you didn't give that impression the first time.
she looks at you. I am not responsible for your perceptions. As she reaches into the envelope and pulls the letter out, a green powder falls onto the floor.
Step back fast.
I need you guys to please roll Constitution saving throws.
Wait a minute. I had taken it out of both.
You're taking it out of both?
Yes.
Because Eowyn thought that the powder was in this one.
No.
No?
I didn't think it was.
No? Okay. So,
Yeah, I had taken it out of both.
it's out of both? I'm sorry. Then it's a mistake on my part. I apologize. We're going to go back 2 steps here. There is no green powder that falls out.
That is a wild mistake.
I'm sorry.
I was panicking.
I apologize.
Thinking it was just residue that just didn't get cleaned out the first time.
No.
She pulls the letter out and looks over it.
Well, that is all the business I held here, so I will be on my way.
She draws her sword and places it at your shoulder. Do not leave.
Is there a reason why?
I will read this letter that you have delivered. You do not flee as a coward here.
I'm not attempting to flee, it's just I have nothing else I need to do here, and we're quite in a rush to leave.
She begins to read the letter. As she scans the letter, she begins to quiver. Her sword vibrates on your shoulder, and she withdraws it from you. And she will collapse onto both knees, sobbing.
Ma'am, are you alright?
She looks at you. I failed. I did not know that the house would send someone. I did my best.
Ma'am, I'm not part of the House of Flowers. I was only asked as a favor to deliver these. I'm really sorry it's caused you such distress.
She looks up at you. Her eyes are bloodshot instantly. She's heaving. Her heart rate is extremely high, and she's having a hard time breathing.
Is there anything I can do to comfort her? I feel awful leaving her like this.
That's up to you. What would you like to do?
Um, I'll kneel down to her eye level and put a hand on her shoulder. I understand it's distressing for you, but I worry for you if you continue to hyperventilate like this. Can you try taking some deep breaths?
You don't understand. I am going to die. And she will press the letter into your chest. Read it. My life is forfeit. Even a minor mistake, and he will come for me. The city that I have guarded, all of my friends, anyone who has ever known of me, will die. It is better for me to die now than to risk all of those. She looks up at you. You are the servant and courier of Bluebonnet Verm. Will you assist me?
Assist you in what?
Saving lives.
Does someone need protection?
The city needs protection from Mr. Bluebonnet Verm, and from the House of Flowers, and from me and my failures.
Um, I'm not sure.
She looks at you. Take the sword from the stand. You look over to where she nodded, and there's a series of 3 swords on a rack.
Will they be coming here soon?
The danger is already here. Take the sword. We must save people's lives.
I need a minute first. I will go back to the party.
Okay. Party.
I don't understand what she wants you to do.
It's one of 2 things. Either A, she was supposed to die because she inhaled the powder that was supposed to be in the letter, thus closing a loose end by Bluebonnet Vern. Or B, because she lives, the village will suffer the consequences. So she's either wanting to kill herself anyway with assistance through Harakari or seppuku, or C, join forces against Blue Bonnet once he eventually comes down here to carry out what we have failed to accomplish.
She seems pretty hell-bent on taking her own life to protect the city. And
GM, am I close on any of that?
Roll your insight check, sir. With a 15, sir, you are very close on all points. The question becomes, how do you guys wish to handle this?
if you allow her to live, the city becomes target, which is, I know, not something that you want. You could kill her yourself and spare the city, or she could take her own life and spare the city, or
Roll the dice.
ignore the problem.
Do you think we could go after this guy?
No. We don't want to get on the out of character 2-player. It has been stated in the past that being out of being not indebted or under the influence of the House of Flowers is the best.
We already are because we failed with the first letter.
So
Got it.
back
Got
in
it.
character,
Yeah. But
Back-
my character has no idea of this.
right? So with in character, we could ignore it. We could help her kill herself, and there's a couple ways we could do it. You kill her, or but
Feign her
Yeah.
death.
what'd you say? I'm sorry.
Feign death.
That too.
Do you still have the powder?
I do.
Suggest you give it to her and we walk away.
And let her make her choice.
I don't know. I
That is
really
not what
did.
I suggest.
I didn't intend for any of this to happen.
You never would. The thing is the goal was for you to just deliver it unknowingly. But because your heart is the way it is,
And I'm
You
glad
wanted
it
to see-
is.
you wanted to see what was going to happen, why it was so urgent. You now know. The question is, how do you want to deal with the House of Flowers? Because what you choose affects the rest of us too, because we are part of your party too.
The House of Flowers have already been betrayed.
And the House of Flowers technically has already been betrayed.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
We could give her the powder, and we could also give her the this. No, I immediately see the flaws in this. But I will.
I know where
I
you're
will work
headed.
through it anyway. Her, as if we give her the fire bloom petal, she would be able to be awoken from the poison. However, I suppose could offer her asylum aboard our ship.
But where would she go?
And that's also not going to protect the city.
And that doesn't fix the first iteration of this whole situation.
Yep.
Well, I don't know that we can fix the first one right now.
Oh,
However,
most definitely. That's already done. I think that city's gone already.
Yeah.
But I
do not
still think
think
our
that
best
Vern
bet
would
is
have
to
the
just.
capability to.
I still think our best bet is to give the powder to her, and we let her make the decision.
I would say. I would say the assistance, or at least witnessing it, would be best. Because I don't want to be anywhere near her, but at the same time, I this is where my heart gets into it. I don't want her to have the powder because that's a much slower death. Unless they plan on sending somebody to.
There's probably a cleanup crew already en
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
May I have input?
Of course, this is for you.
I, if I were to um, do as she wishes, is there a way I can be painless?
That would be taking that sword over there and administering the final blow.
I doubt that's.
Okay, here's why I say use the powder. Because that's what the House of Flowers intended. Their cleanup crew's going to come in here looking to see if the powder was administered.
Which is death by suffocation and
Yeah,
starvation.
right.
And
Yeah, it's
dehydration.
a slower death, but that's what they're going to look for. And if it's death by some other means, they're going to know this thing was tampered with.
They already know it's tampered with.
However, we can say, Eowyn can say that she gave them as they were. It's not her fault there was nothing in
Their
it.
fault.
We both know that that's not a true statement.
Yeah, I know, but it would save her life.
Not necessarily.
At this point, I think his life is already forfeit. Just like Covet had a test, I think Eowyn had a test, and I think we now are well aware of the results of what that test is.
You don't pass, you die. Much like mine. So,
Do
Eowyn,
not.
what should we do?
I don't want her to have a slow or painful death.
I know you don't want her to die anyway, but unfortunately, it's going to happen one way or another.
Is this the? Is there not? It's the House of Flowers that has died.
I think I need you to project a little bit more, Jordan.
I was saying, is there not a way for us to convince the House of Flowers that she has died when it's not?
A body? But she seems too committed. She looks back. Has she already committed the act herself?
No, she is looking at the messenger who asked for a moment, but she is currently set up with a white sash ahead of her, and laying on the white sash there is a short dagger, about 7 inches long, laid out of the sheath, ready to go. She's unbuckling her breastplate in order to gain access to tender areas that need to be stabbed. But there's a ritual to this, and she's wanting to go through the whole ritual using Eowyn as the second, unless you guys decide to try to convince her otherwise.
Eowyn would only swing the sword in case she chickens out midway.
Unless she's unable to finish the 7 cuts.
And then Eowyn would behead her.
So, that becomes the question. Eowyn, you want to try to save this woman's life? Or are you going to assist her? Or are you not going to assist her in an honorable death?
Covette, do you still have the powder?
I do.
May you give it to me?
Oh, will you give it to him?
Covet rifles through her bags and holds the flask still within her grasp, not letting it go, knowing pretty much what Eowyn's about to do. Are you sure, my friend? This can come back and follow you.
Maybe in the end, one death is better than many.
And she hands it to Eowyn and says, only if you're sure. And
It won't take the flask and go back to Ivy.
Okay. She looks up at you from her kneeling position.
He'll kneel down as well to be eye level.
You will help me then.
I cannot bring myself to help you in this way. Eowyn will hand her the flask. Inside this flask is the same powder that I was supposed to be in that letter. It's your choice to take it or not.
She looks at you. I'm to take the powder. You opened the letter.
I thought it was the right thing to do to avoid any death. I see my flaws now.
Will not Mr. Verm be peeved at you? You've risked your life to save mine. Why?
He might be a little mad, but I try to avoid unnecessary death as much as possible.
But
Eowyn,
you did not
Eowyn
know me until today.
I didn't need to know you. Eowyn will grab her hand and gently place the flask in them.
She takes it
This,
and looks at it.
this is your choice. It's not an instant death, unfortunately.
I see.
But
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I
sorry,
see.
what?
I was just gonna say before Covet turns away, she just looks at Eowyn and tells Eowyn, if she does it this way, just tell her to open the cork and sniff. Shake it first before she opens it, and then she just turns and walks away.
So Covet's going to leave the building?
I'm stepping away so the choice can be Eowyn's.
She's being forcibly escorted by her manservant Twilight.
Okay.
Ayla's gonna look at Ivy and look at Eowyn and say, "I'm so sorry. I am so sorry." And then she turns and grabs Winkle by the arm and says, "Come on." And they walk out.
Okay. As they walk out, Eowyn, you stand here with Islarin. Islarin, are you going to go out as well?
Islarin will stay here.
Okay.
When Covet gets outside, she has a couple of fire bloom petals ready to go, just in case.
All right. So, as Islarin stands here, Ivy looks at you, Eowyn. So, I am to die through this powder.
I believe that's what was intended, unfortunately. I am sorry that it is not an honorable death like you wished.
It is
But-
what the House of Flowers desires. And she will reach forward and she will close the dagger.
But just know the fact you're willing to sacrifice yourself to protect what you love, I would say that's honorable in itself.
He looks at you. A man telling me what honor is. Strange. This is not the way I expected today to be. She looks at you. Thank you for delivering the letter. Thank you for reading it. Thank you for removing the powder so that I would not die unknowing the contents. She begins to fasten her breastplate. She rearranges everything so she looks perfect. She walks over towards the balcony there, where she can see out into the jungle. There's a teapot there. And she looks at you. Will you have tea with me before I take the powder?
Yeah, of course.
She nods and will kneel on one side of the table and gesture for you to kneel on the other side.
It will do so.
She looks at you. I must ask. I had wanted to die as a married woman. Will you marry me in this tea ceremony? So that I can die well? She looks at you without reaching for the teapot or the 2 cups that are sitting there.
For respect of your last wishes, I will.
She nods. Thank you. May I know my husband's name?
My name is Aon Fia.
Repeat that?
My name is Aon Fia.
She looks at you. An honor, Eowyn Fia. And she will reach up to the teapot and she will perform a tea ceremony where she will pour your tea and her tea. She will gesture for you to drink first. Do you drink?
I will.
Okay. The tea is delicious. She somehow slipped a bit of honey into it so that it tastes very nice. She also drinks of the tea. She looks at you. An honor. She rotates the cups and taking the vial, she holds it down into her cup of tea and opens it. The tea turns green in her cup. She stoppers it. She raises her teacup to you. I am happy, honored, married woman. And she drinks the tea. She falls, slumped over the table, knocking over the teapot, which breaks on the floor. She's not dead. She's asleep. Eowyn, your wife.
Eowyn will look sadly at the sight. But he'll get up and go to her side, and as a final goodbye, he'll close her eyes for her and give her a kiss on the cheek before leaving the building.
Okay.
Mumbling, "I'm sorry," under his breath.
What does he mutter under his breath?
He only says, "I'm sorry."
Islarin, you've watched this through the door. As Eowyn comes to leave the building, you leave with him?
I do.
All right.
I'll whisper. Is this truly what you want?
I wish to not answer that.
As Islarin and Eowyn exit the building, Twilight will make a statement to Eowyn. You do realize that your task from Mr. Verne was to deliver the letters with powder. There was no
Twilight.
stipulation. Hear me out. There was no stipulation. There was no conditions. There was no after
I'm
action
aware,
on.
and I will continue to stand right.
So your reactions to what happens after the letters are delivered are entirely your own.
I will stand by what I believe is right. I do not wish for your input right now.
Here's what I am saying, and I will be perfectly clear. You have somebody in the other room that is sleeping. Had you not known that the powder was going to have that effect, how would you have reacted? It is well within reason for you to react accordingly and take action as if you were completely unaware that the powder would affect that. Meaning, if you were to go back in there and say, give them a fire bloom petal, that is well within your right to do so.
I hold up the fire bloom petal.
You could save her life.
And risk many others if I were to do so.
Your only
Oh.
task was to deliver the letters. Any
The
action
House of
taken,
Flowers will know she's alive.
right, but you weren't giving guidance or direction other than deliver the letters. Any reaction is your own, and they have to accept that.
I will not risk anything further. She is happy with how she has left the world.
Understood.
And with that, Covet will take the petal and slip it back into her belt. And she looks at Aowen and just say, "You always have a choice."
Not always.
And as you guys walk away from the building, the somber mood of the fact that Eowyn got married and left his wife happily sleeping at the House of Flowers here in Chunju. It's sombering. She's not dead. Who knows what the House of Flowers has in mind for them? So, as this somber moment washes over all of you, you're all aware of what has transpired. What would you like to do next?
I'm going back to the ship, I think, and start putting up the goods we've just bought.
Okay.
I need some hard work.
All right.
Before we head back to the ship, Covet pulls Twilight aside and she very quietly talks to him, looking still superior. So she looks like she's still in charge
Sure.
because of the culture and everything. But she looks at Twilight and says, "Do you think there's any chance that this temple of MKL could be much like the temple in our last location?"
Which temple of MKO?
The one that, I don't know, could be, I don't know, Joseph's Eye?
Where?
Here?
I didn't know there's a temple of MKO here.
There's always a temple. Could there be a temple?
I don't know. It's just a humble fishing village.
Hmm.
You could ask and find out.
But with any temple to MKO, usually there is a reduction of power and capability, so it is just you and MKO, which leaves vulnerabilities. And if you are near the those that are radical, then there's dangers that are presented.
You are not wrong. She looks at her pack and she's just like, I was just wondering if I could potentially get some help. I was so overwhelmed with some with the other things that happened last time. I was just I wanted to see if I could get Absent some help.
Isn't the situation with absence going to be handled with the Lady in Shadows?
Yes, but she's also over 4,000 years old, and that kind of scares me. What is she?
The Lady in Shadows.
Yeah. That's not creepy.
Could she not be Fae?
I don't know what she is.
I'm surprised that particular situation went down the way that it did.
I am too.
Had it gone from ignorance to reaction to application of character, I think we would have had a different result.
It's not her choice. That was theirs, and I still stand beside everyone has a choice. They made theirs.
Of course.
Now we see what the consequences will be. Whatever they may be.
After you, my lady.
And she turns and heads towards the rest of the group.
All right. So, as the group reconvenes, you catch a glimpse of someone moving alongside you guys in an alleyway. They disappear when you look at them.
Somebody moving alongside of us in the alleyway. But they just disappeared.
She brings the attention to Islarin, and particularly Eowyn. Still looking superior. Again, going with the cultural aspect, because Eowyn is male. But I do believe that we are being followed. This is the second time I've seen this person, and every time I actually look at them, they take off.
Definitely a test.
Could be part of the organization, potentially.
The first thing I'd like to do is use my divine sense to see. I'm guessing it's a humanoid, but I figure I might as well rule out celestial fiend or undead.
Sure. As you decide to do your divine sense, you do not detect any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of you.
Got it. We try and... Oh. I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Detect magic. There's a couple minor magical items a amethyst stone nearby that's giving off a faint scent. You're familiar with those. There's an ever-burning torch in one of the buildings nearby. Other than the magic that your party has, seems to be nothing majorly magical in the area.
I'll hold concentration on that, but I will quietly ask the others. Shall we attempt to scope out who that person is or what they want?
I mean, if somebody's got a whole person or some other type of technique, then that might work.
Do they appear as a threat?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Do they appear as a threat?
If they were a threat, they would have done something by now. But I'm afraid that if we use any form of magic, much like what we did in the last location, it will be seen as a threat. We don't want to do that.
I mean, I could tell them a really good joke and see how they react to it.
If you do that, and if it's like, oh, I don't know, like the spell Tasha's hideous laughter. I mean, seriously? That.
You have a good joke?
Wow. You went there. Well done. If I could grant inspiration, I would. Wow. That was a zinger.
Yes, Miss Taylor, I happen to be a wealth of good jokes.
We'll pull them
Really?
out sometime.
Maybe we should leave it.
I just don't like the idea of being followed. Other
Me
than
neither.
what I was already expecting. And I think this is above and beyond.
We could split up and see if we can corner them.
Nope.
No, I have a suspicion that it is somebody from the House of Flowers doing an evaluation on some people.
But why were they staring at Covet?
Because Covet's with the party, and she's standing next to my glorious face.
I mean, frankly, I'm hot. I mean,
Oh,
that was
that's it.
established during the trial.
The Aya one was the one that was responsible, and they weren't paying any attention to Aya one.
Search and review are that.
Okay, so GM clarification.
Yes.
Were they watching the party as a whole or me?
That's hard to determine. Because every time you've looked at them, they've disappeared. Twilight, you've been granted inspiration.
We got one! Alright, who can I pass my current one off so I can get this new one?
Who needs inspiration?
If no one else wants it, I'll take it.
All right, so Slarn
Alright, you
gets
can-
it from Twilight, and Twilight gets it from Debactabax.
Thanks, Mac the Axe. And Ayla, for the record, here's a fantastic, perfectly good joke.
Okay, thank you.
Why did the Scarecrow become a stand-up comedian? Because he was outstanding in his field and always knew how to crack people up.
Oh God.
Oh my.
MK,
Okay.
help me.
And this is the kind of joke that you guys are relying on for safety.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't
It's
think
enough
I understand that one, Twilight.
It's
You have any more of that butter?
I don't know if the joke's bad or I'm just not in the mood for jokes right now.
I think both.
I know.
That's, in your defense, you've had a rough night. Day, wherever you are.
I do want to check in. Is everyone okay as far as players go?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I know we've dealt with some pretty dark topics today.
let's walk around for a little bit and see if we can't affect this person.
You gonna try to walk around and try to find this person?
What if we and she leans closer in and says, "That's a good idea, but what if we take it up a step? What if we go around the block and meet in the middle? Go around and meet on the other side. Maybe we can pin this person."
That was my suggestion earlier.
I wouldn't say split up per se, but it doesn't. I don't know. I don't like the idea of being followed.
Three of us go one way and three of us go the other way, and we meet in the middle at the back of this building.
Okay. Is that what you guys want to do?
Out of character. I don't like splitting the party. But
That's
in
okay.
character,
What's the worst that could happen?
I
I don't want to go there either.
I have PTSD. I still have a twitch here.
Which two with me?
Which two are going with this, Lauren?
I'm attached to Covet.
Hey, Boinkle, let's go with this, Lauren.
Okay.
Then Aelin.
I assume that's at the hip, right, Twilight?
At least.
Yeah,
If
understood.
not more.
All right. So,
And also have detect magic up for this time.
cool. So I have Winkle, Eowyn, and Ayla. And I have a Slarin, Covet, and Twilight.
Oh, this is gonna end so badly. Okay.
I thought Winkle and Ayla was going with this line.
Winkle and Ayla are going with the Slarin? Okay. Winkle, Ayla, and a Slarin. Eowyn, Twilight, and Covet.
So I'm going to cast see invisibility on myself,
Very well.
which is not concentration, so I can still keep detect magic up.
Cool. So,
And I will cast. Where'd it go? There it is. I will cast my technique of dynamic exit. Stage right.
okay.
And that is concentration. Oh, and that only lasts up to a minute.
Cool.
We better walk quick then.
Awesome. So, as you guys go around the building trying to find this person, can I get perception checks?
I am going to use my inspiration on that.
I got 21.
19.
Ooh, Blinko, look at you! Got one from each group.
Awesome. So, as you guys come around the building, you're going to catch someone hiding behind a barrel. You guys pin her in the alleyway. She looks at you. Look, I was just looking. It's not my fault. I didn't mean anything. No harm done. No harm done.
Has accused you of anything?
Good.
We were simply
Then
curious
good
as
day.
to why you were watching us.
Well, I was just looking. I mean, you know, it's not often I see foreigners here. Other than myself.
Oh, may I have
Where
Winkle
you
notices she
originally
doesn't
from?
have a flower.
May I have your name?
My name? Oh, Trixie. No, you can't have my name. I can tell you my name, but you can't have it. It's mine. Forever.
Sure. Of course, we only want to know what it is.
She looks at you. She said she wanted to have it, and I know how the elves are. I know
And
how
what-
elves are.
Call you.
I'm sorry?
I'm not an elf.
Then what may I call you?
Oh, well. You can call me Lyra.
Lyra. You may call me Sin.
Oh dear. I bet he likes that a lot.
Twilight snort.
Twilight snorts.
Oh, I've seen you quite a bit. You
Well, I
haven't
like
done
Sin.
You haven't done anything, but
Oh, I've done
Run
lots
around.
of things, just not to you.
Why have you been following us?
Well, you see, there's a. I was going to. You've got a very nice ship, and I want to get out of here.
Were you going to sneak aboard this ship?
She looks at you. I was. But now, I don't suppose I have to. Nice to make your acquaintance. I am Lyra. Leah Shadevale. And she's Lyra Shadevale. Acquisitions extraordinaire. I'm looking for passage, and according to what you were saying in the shop to the lady, if you're telling the truth, you're headed southwards. I would like to book passage aboard your ship. After all, no other ships ever leave here. They go out to sea, of course, but they come back the same day after having gone fishing. I tried to steal one of their ships, but, you know, they're really good at spotting me. Something about not having any place to hide aboard a fishing vessel. Lots of nets. But I'm willing to pay for passage. I can bring my own food, and I'll stay out of the way.
You realize that Treble tends to find our ship?
No, I don't realize that. What kind of troubles?
Oh, just dragons, ghosts,
Dragons,
banshees,
ghosts,
undead,
banshees.
Spirits.
Undead.
Wow.
and other manner of ill intent creatures of old.
So you're saying stories?
Do you like stories?
Oh, I love stories. There's nothing better than listening to a bard in a tavern telling stories of faraway places and adventures that people have had. There's nothing better than it.
Well, you
Can I do
don't
an insight check to see whether she is being deliberately flattering or genuine?
You can absolutely roll your insight check. She is not only being enthusiastic, she is being overly enthusiastic. She is truthful. Her favorite thing in life is sitting around listening to stories. But with your super high insight checks of 20, 21, and 21, and 21, this person wants to make their own stories. They want to live the stories that they've heard in the taverns and bars. And based off of their dress and the fact that they are currently engaged in a town where they obviously don't belong, they've already started making some stories.
Where are you from?
Oh, well, far away. Where are you from?
Far away.
Oh,
Far away.
I love that. It's so good. Can you tell me where from?
Not this plane.
Oh, well, I can tell you where I'm from. I'm from Corlin. And, well, not really pleasant to be there, you understand.
What is it like there?
Oh, they're mean. So very mean. And by the way, we can hear you typing. Um,
Love that, by the way. That's great. Notes being taken.
I turned my noise suppression off to see if it would help me come through more clearly. That might be it.
So, well, you see, they're kind of on the mean side. Everyone's hungry. And, well, they need a hero. And I figured if I could sneak into Shu, and I could come all the way up here, and I could find some temples to raid, and maybe get a couple of gold pieces, and maybe some, friends like yourselves, I could be a hero. And I could inspire people and make some stories for myself.
Typically, heroes don't raid temples. So, which temples were you raiding?
Oh, the Temple of Odigi. He likes suffering?
I'm sure they would have encouraged the raiding of his temple so that his followers could suffer more.
Oh, of course, which is the great part about raiding an Odigi temple. They like the suffering. They think it's great. So by robbing them, you're just enhancing their faith.
We ran into a nomadic tribe out in Estrella that was very much like that. I gave them a cursed weapon for a box of potions. It was amazing.
You've been to Australia? She comes over and is like wide-eyed looking at you. And that's when you realize she's 3 feet tall. She's a halfling.
Have
Kiki
you
size.
have you ever heard the Legends of Twilight's Call?
No? Is he cool?
Oh, he's amazing.
Really? What's he look like?
It's amazing. He looks just like him.
Really? Are you a fan?
I'm married to a chick that looks just like me.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow. I didn't realize that there were impersonators this far up in Shu.
It's a gift. What can I say?
If you're that good of disguisers, I'd like to learn from you.
Oh, there's a lot to teach.
Have you guys ever raided a temple?
Personally, no. We're more on a mission.
Technically speaking,
Technically, yeah. She leans
I
in with
guess,
this, Lauren.
yeah.
Yeah, we technically kind of
We
have.
kind of saved Winkle over here from a temple, so I guess we did kind of raid it.
Yeah, and defaced it too. But got forgiven by the original owner.
Yeah, how did that one play out for you?
Yeah, I'm not echoing anymore. It's kind of nice.
Does that mean you framed this Twilight and Covet for those crimes? So cool!
You'd be amazed at the stories I tell, but passage on this boat isn't cheap. And you would have to work, and you would have to fight and defend the boat as well.
Oh, I can do that. After all, that's kind of what I'm good at.
I think that choice is not up to us since we are not captains.
Yes, it's Lauren.
Oh, who's the captain?
She looks at us, Lauren. Captain, your choice.
Lyra,
How else can Lyra learn the legends of Twilight unless she comes aboard?
Lauren turns and gives Twilight a look. And then continues. May I tell you a story?
Of course! I love stories.
When I was of your approximate level of experience, you went out in search of adventure, enthralled by the stories, believing that is destined to become a hero depicted in them. Very first.
You're cutting out again. That noise suppression's a killer.
Turn it off. Okay, which parts were audible?
None of it. Try again.
Alright. When I was of your approximate level of experience, I too sought the same type of adventure that you did, that you do. I was enthralled by the stories, by the heroes, and I wanted to become one myself as well. The very first mission I undertook was with 3 others to attempt to rid the sewers of a gang of Grong that were a disturbance in the city. Of the 4 of us, 2 of us died within minutes.
Really?
I was captured.
Oh dear.
I was very, very lucky to make it out of that alive.
You know how she made it out alive?
How?
Twilight, no, we are, that is the
Have it
point.
covered Twilight's mouth.
Twilight bats it away. Twilight's call
She
and
stomps
his
on
wife
foot.
braved the sewers, gathered a crew, stormed
She jumps
the
on his
sewers,
back.
and rescued his
Twilight.
Lauren here.
Please notice that in all the insight checks, that everybody is insightful except Twilight.
Twilight jumped on his back and has like wrapped her hands around his mouth. Just shut up. She's like the
Point
most
I was
You got
trying to
rescued?
impress upon you. The point I was trying to impress upon you is that that situations we encounter are deadly. They are highly dangerous.
Oh yeah.
This is not something to be taken on lightly.
Oh, all I want is a boat ride. I just need to get down to Quadrant Jewel. That's it. I don't want to stay with the ship. After all, just the story of taking a ride on a protectorate vessel, that's going to be a huge one. Can I book passage on your ship from here to Quadrant Gruel?
I have one other question.
Of course.
Are you in trouble with the law, here or elsewhere?
Well, that depends on what you mean.
Here it is.
Please elaborate.
Well, I'm not actually in trouble with the law. Because no one's ever caught me. You can only be in trouble if you get busted.
See witnesses.
Witnesses! Exactly! You're really good. Is the Twilight Call really this insightful?
She stomps on his foot again. Shush!
See, I think the story of a damsel in distress being rescued by a dashing man with long flowing hair like that is amazing.
I need more wine for this. Holy crap.
Twilight's gonna be crippled before this is done. I can see it now.
The moose is getting nauseated.
So, I'm willing to pay. I've got gold. I can pay my way, and I'll stay out of your hair. You can lock me in a berth. It doesn't matter. I'll stay out of your hair the whole way. I just want to make it to Quadrant Gruel.
And I just need to know that by granting you passage, I will not be causing a diplomatic incident.
Oh no, I'm not that important yet. I'd love to be, but no, not important. Not me.
But if you adhere to the Legends of Twilight's Call, you could be a legend too.
You think so?
With
Absolutely.
an insight check of when they say that they are not that important of 17,
Huh?
Politically, is she in trouble really?
With your 17, she has not been able to commit a crime. Okay. With a 17, she has not committed a crime that would cause a diplomatic incident. With a 24, Ayla, she hasn't committed a crime that would cause a diplomatic incident, but a religious one, absolutely.
Oh no.
She's probably raided a temple and taken a few artifacts and probably taken something from a reliquary of Odigi and is probably wanted by the clergy across all of Toivoa. She's a religious bandit.
Great.
And she's looking to get home, but she hasn't told you how much she's willing to pay.
Or the amount she's bringing with her.
Correct.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Now the question, do you
Okay,
tell people
or-
about this, Ayla? Because only you would incite that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to ask, if I may, how much loot are you bringing with you?
Just what I have on me. She smiles and will twirl just a little bit, her black cloak swirling so you can see her pants and that her pockets are not bulging. She has a little pouch on her hip, a little bandolier, and she's got a dagger on her hip with her gauntlets. There's a nice little green gem dangling from her necklace.
Yeah, I noticed that. Do you have any religious items upon your person?
Well, of course. Who doesn't? We all believe in something.
Yeah, but were these religious items yours originally, or did you take them?
I could ask you the same. Are your religious items always yours, or did you take them from someone else?
They were given to me by my mother. Did you steal any?
Steal? No!
Take?
Of course I took.
Tactically repurposed.
Precisely.
How much was tactically repurposed?
A couple things. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
No. It can matter. Uh, what things were tactically repurposed? What items?
Look, I'm going to pay.
Take you there? We need to know.
I will pay a lot of gold in order to get down to Cordrin Gruel, and no more questions about what I took. And I won't ask you what things you've taken. She looks you guys up and down. That you didn't ask for permission for either. Including the identities of Covet Von Sin and Twilight's Call. If they ever found out that you're impersonating them and raiding temples, you would be in so much trouble.
Fortunately, Twilight's Call is very interested in those that happen to spread his legend across the Toivoan seas.
Yeah, but I bet he wants it to be an excellent story, not some half-witted, half-hearted person who spends time just shopping in Chunju. I bet Twilight's Call, the real Twilight's Call, would rather have hundreds and thousands of gold and send servants into Chunju, like women, doing his bidding here, as opposed to being a slave.
Oh, Covet looks at Twilight and is like, "Oh, tons of women, I'm sure."
After all, isn't that every man's fantasy to be able to command hordes of armies and to be in authority?
Some of it's more trouble than it's worth.
Well, but the legend of Twilight's Call, I'm sure that that's the legend he'd want, not this facsimile.
Twilight
You
just
keep
took
it up, and you won't hear any stories about the legend of Twilight's Call.
Well,
And you'd be stuck in this fishing village all by yourself, waiting for those priests, paladins, inquisitors, looking for the items that were tactically repurposed.
well, if this Twilight's Call is legendary as you make him out to be, he'll be hunting for you if I just say the word in a wrong tavern, in a wrong jail cell. Ooh, the number of people that would hunt you down. Oh, but anyway, look, I'm willing to pay 4,000 gold for the trip from here to Cordray Gruel.
She looks at us, Lauren.
See, that just seems a little bit desperate. And desperate people usually, I don't know, their opening bid is a whole lot less than what they really pay. You know, a couple more months here in this fishing village might do you some good. Now, if you were talking 8,000 gold, maybe we can talk.
He looks at you. Wow. You are a rascal.
I mean, keep threatening those of us that might be your ticket out of here, and it might be even 10,000 gold. You never know what might happen.
Well, I do that, but I only have 4,000 gold. You can search me. Actually, not you. I think you have sticky fingers. I think you are the kind of guy that would lie about who he is in order to make the legend of Twilight's Call even better just to suit himself. So, you can't search me, but he can. And she points at Bwinkle.
Winkle's over there laughing, and he's just shaking his head. Walks over to the little thing, grabs it by its ankle, lifts it up, and shakes it to see how much money it actually has.
As she's dangling there, she smiles and she spins in place there. Whee! And her coin purse will fall and she'll catch it. Here's the 4,000 gold. And she's upside down holding the pouch.
That was brilliant.
Looks like that's it.
So, passage on your ship.
I have
Deal.
I have one condition.
Yeah. She's still upside down.
Blood draining to her head.
Uh-huh.
If while on our ship anyone who you tactically repurposed items from comes asking for them, you return them then and there.
Fair enough. Do we have a deal? And she reaches up to shake your hand upside down.
Oh, wait.
have it something you want to add?
Before she adds to it, anything that is anything that is tactically repurposed, taken or otherwise acquired while on board, and is not given back to us when requested, known or unknown, will be met with death.
Ooh. You play hard, don't you? It's okay. I'm not going to take anything from you guys other than a ride to Cordred Gruel.
Do you swear this?
Fear I
upon
will
your
regret.
life? As she holds out her hand.
He looks at you. Ooh. Handshake from a fae. Ah. I promise I won't harm you. I promise that I'm not going to take anything from you other than the ride to Cordred Gruel. I'm not going to take any items, and if I do, you guys can kill me. Fair?
Unknown or known.
As not even known or unknown, if I take anything from you, period. Fair?
You will take your own life.
Ooh, that's dark. It makes a great story. All right. Deal. Unless it's freely given.
If it is freely given, I will allow that.
All
But
right.
it has to be with the words, it is freely given.
Fair. She shakes your hand, and magical runes go.
No, my hand's up here. My hand is up here. She can't get it.
She's
I
reaching
am
for
lower
it.
than somebody for once.
She's reaching for it.
Winkle brings it down a little bit.
Yeah,
It
if
has
your
to
hand's
be
up,
freely
it's
given
closer
and
to
not-
her because she's coming down towards you.
It's back here. It's back
It's back
here.
there? Okay.
It has to be freely given and uncompelled.
Winkle is like playing crane game, trying to get the hands to meet. And she's like, freely given, whatever, fine.
Uncompelled. Say the words.
Uncompelled, fine.
With that, she will give her hand for the deal.
Thank you. Now, this is a fun ride. You've got really long legs, mister. Can I ride on your shoulders?
That's up to Ayla.
Ayla's not here. Ayla went to the ship.
Not until Ayla tells me I can.
Oh. So she's your mistress?
She is my protector.
Oh. Well. What's she going to protect you from? Me?
Well, she has to play doctor with me.
Oh my god.
She looks at you. Really? You have a boo-boo?
Oh, she has to check me for lots of boo-boos.
Oh my god.
Oh dear. You know, I once heard of a Musatar who had a friend that regularly checked him for ticks. I never understood that.
I'm sure I could have a tick or two.
Was it a squirrel?
No, but a kitsune. Apparently, you know, kitsune have very sensitive noses, and they can smell ticks easily.
Oh, yeah. We call them ticker eaters.
Oh, yeah, ticker eaters? Understood. I learn something new every day. Can we be friends? It'd make a great story to have a moose as a friend. Musatar as a friend.
Sure. I don't have many friends. It sounds good.
Awesome. Oh, is your friendship freely given, uncompelled?
I'm looking at it. I'm staring at her.
Sure.
He looks at you and smiles a Cheshire cat grin.
Oh, you are. I like you.
She smiles. Ah, what was your name, big guy?
I'm Winkle.
Winkle, we're going to be best friends for at least a couple of weeks.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right.
Ah, so,
Hey, Owen, come and help me.
Eowyn's at the ship. So, when are we leaving?
Do you have anything that you need to pack?
All I own is on me.
I believe we are leaving as soon as is practicable.
Oh, that's great. Do you guys need help with the boat? I suppose I can offer help if I can't take it, right?
I mean, you know how to work on a boat?
Oh, I do.
Can you steer a boat?
I could.
Well,
Not great, but okay.
what about man a ballista?
I'm better at flying from a ballista.
Okay, I think that's the most honest thing that they've said all day.
Perfect. Next engagement, we'll have you fly from a ballista.
Sweet. That'll be so cool. You know, it's really hard to find a good ballista in Corlin.
Now, I don't know how you will get back to the boat after you fly from a ballista, but we'll work that out and when the time comes.
Oh, I've got that covered. Trust me.
Likely.
So, is passage aboard your ship offered and freely given?
She looks at us, Lauren.
With the terms that we have discussed, yes.
And
Great.
payment rendered. And payment rendered.
She smiles.
That is included in the terms that we've discussed.
Here you go. And she tosses the coin purse to Coven von Sin.
She shakes it.
It jingles.
She's gonna count it.
Yep. You're going to count it?
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. As you open it up, it's 4,000 pieces of Corlin gold.
Yep. How much in actual gold for everybody else?
It's Corlin gold.
Yeah, but what is the exchange rate?
It's gold. You can melt it down and make new coins with it. 4,000 gold worth of coins. And in Corlin currency.
Great. Okay. She looks at her and it's just the pride that shows from Covet because Covet begins to want to know what her backstory really is.
Uh-huh.
Because this is something that no average child would know. The wording. This is something that's taken time.
Yep.
So she really wants to start to get to know this kid because this kid, this halfling, has skills.
Yeah, roll your insight check. Because Covet's looking at her.
18.
She's not a kid. She's 31 years old.
Yep, there we go.
She puts on the kid airs and the kid enthusiasm because it's disarming. It's the perfect way to find a bard who would allow her aboard a ship is to flatter him and to get him to think that she's a fan, just in order to get aboard a ship and get home.
She smiles, figuring out the age and everything, just after taking a really good look at this kid, quote unquote. And she's like, all right, I see you. You know,
I'm sorry, she's
to herself,
33. I messed up.
she to herself, she's like, okay, I see you. All right. And so she begins to wonder, what more can she do? And she stands back, standing next to next to Twilight, and she's tossing this Corlin gold, this bag of Corlin gold, up and down in her hand. And the wheels start turning in her head. And she thinks to herself, all right, now I've got work to do.
All right. So, do you guys hop in the dinghy to leave Chunju with your new passenger?
Absolutely.
All right. So as Lyra hops into the dinghy, she reaches over to shake Ayla's hand. So, hi. Your friend here says that you're his protector.
Well, I guess he thinks that because I saved his life.
Really? Tell me the story. I'd love to hear it. As long as it's freely given without being compelled.
It's freely given, but and not compelled, but it's just real simple. He was drowning and I cast walk on water and it pulled him up to the surface so he could get out of the water. That's all.
Oh dear. That's a pretty lame story. It's got the foundations of a good one. Maybe a great bard like the Great Twilight's Call could come up with a better way to phrase that.
Probably. Storytelling is not my gift. I cook.
So, as a question, do you know his real name?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Huh. So, the question becomes, do you think he's good enough to retell your story? Maybe melding it into this legend of Twilight's Call?
Yeah, probably. I'm sure it would be quite different from mine.
Hey, bard
He was
guy.
there.
Bard guy. I'm sorry. Twilight's Call.
Yes.
Can you tell me the story that she just told, but it's a pizzazz?
Pizzazz, you said.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, after being told that I was a very poor imposter and a very bad facsimile, and that I should have those across Toivoa hunt me down, I don't think you're worth it.
Well, fine. So much
I
for a
could.
good bard. This is a beautiful ship. Where'd you guys get it?
It was a wedding gift from my husband.
A wedding gift of a protectorate vessel? Holy crap. This is amazing. Oh, and you have a crew. Man. Did he get included in the ship with... Wow. I don't know many husbands that would actually give a wife a crew and a man.
Oh, first of all, the man is my husband.
Oh, so he's off limits.
Very much
Of all the
so.
men here, Eowyn is the only one that's not off limit.
You look at Eowyn and you remember for a moment, Twilight, Eowyn's married.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But he just got married, so you might want to stay away from him.
Oh. Is Winkle married? Because he's really cute. He's got a
Between
huge
Ayla.
rack.
Winkle looks over at her, and goes, "You're too small."
Oh. You'd be surprised at what I can do. Your loss. So, where's my berth? Is there a room that I'm supposed to be locked in or something?
Down in the bottom of the ship, find a hammock that doesn't have anybody in it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Can I take a hammock with no compulsion and freely given?
As long as there's nobody currently occupying it.
Thanks.
You may use a hammock, not take it.
Gotcha. So, is it okay for me to take a nap without compulsion?
No, you have to get the ship underway.
She looks at you. You want me to drive the ship?
No, I want you up in the rigging to assist the crew in getting the ship underway.
Okay. Fair enough. And she will start getting into the rigging. She's very deft and very swift. As she ties knots and moves things around as told and instructed, she seems to be quite the able-bodied sailor. She's working well as part of a team. She's communicating with the other Fantastic Four and following the directions of Rolmos. By all accounts, your suspicions at the moment seem to be invalidated.
But what was the name of the port they wanted to be dropped off at?
Ordre Gruel, and we will pull up the map for you guys here. As you guys are headed southwards from here, there's a couple cities along the way. One is Yarun, which you could go up the river a couple miles to go and stop there, should you choose to. Otherwise, you can go to Cordray Gruel, which is where she's wanting to be dropped off. After Cordray Gruel, it's another couple of months down to the Cariol Isle or over to Shatter Shaddai. It's going to take you guys the better part of a week to get to Yarun, if you chose to stop there.
Do we need to stop at your room? I don't think we do.
That's up to you guys to decide. I just give you guys challenges and a setting to enjoy in, and I let you guys decide what you want to do.
I wouldn't think
my
we
thought-
need to stop because we got enough supplies, but you know, we may want to depending on what happens between here and there.
Agree. Like right now, I don't think we have any reason to. So, I think.
Can I get an insight check from the ambassador? And from anyone who's politically connected? All right. So, Islarin and Twilight may not see a reason to be there. Ayla doesn't see a reason to be there. However, Covet von Sin. Based on the location of your rune, it is on the border between Shu and Corlin, and could be a political opportunity, either to restock or to form some connections or find some intelligence on what may lie in Corlin. That's an opportunity that you guys could either jump on or skip. And that's up to you guys. I'm not going to dictate that. What I am going to do is when you guys decide to go to sleep tonight, we are going to go ahead and perform a time jump to where you guys wish to be next.
She lets the the group know how it can influence us politically. It could work, it could be okay, it could be bad. It's up to us. I mean, whatever, if we want to go down that way, we can. If we don't want to, that's okay too.
We really haven't been gathering intelligence or information during this trip to date to begin with.
No, we haven't, and that's not good. I mean, the only thing that I have is from my reliable source. And from the sources that we have come across that are, say, shadows of the past.
We will have several opportunities to learn about Corlin, if whether we stop in your own or whether we will eventually be coming up, presumably through Fluidan, unless we decide to enter through Slashmaw Port. We will have those opportunities as well.
You
And
said
frankly,
when you say the word Fluidan, Covet visibly shivers.
Maybe
know.
we should not go to Fluidan. Because you have to bypass my island to get to Shader Shundai. Shaddai. So maybe we don't do Fluidan. They're not very nice over there anyway.
we could skip there. It may be useful to speak to the mages and see if they know anything about the Baneful Ashwood Spire.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
a wise idea. Just if we find anything that's, I don't know, a staff with a skull on it and really eerily green, can we just not pick that up?
Do we need to already change the logbook or the register?
I don't want to be gifted. It's not my boat.
And perhaps if we are there, we can prevent it from happening. If we are being impersonated, then perhaps we will be able to uncover what is happening.
That being said, as lofty as a goal as that is, I'm afraid that the more that we try to avoid that future, the more we are driven to it.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
Indeed.
With that, Covet just kind of sits down on the deck, crisscross applesauce, totally undignified the way that she was the way that she was taught, and she's just like, I don't want that future for myself. I don't want that.
I don't want that future for you. Has anyone seen Eowyn since we got back to the ship? I'm just wondering if he's okay.
Is he down in his berth?
I'm assuming so. He's not here on deck, and he came out here before we did.
Eowyn? Are you
Eowyn?
even on deck?
Eowyn, are you on deck or are you down below in your quarters?
Eowyn is on deck, but he's just kind of away from everyone else.
So you guys look over at Eowyn, who seems to be deep in thought.
Eowyn, are you okay?
Eowyn,
Sorry, repeat that.
the question was, are you okay from Coven?
You've kind of had a harrowing day. Lots of big choices. Lots of, for lack of a better phrase, emotions. It can be overwhelming. Are you okay? How are you dealing with that?
The day goes on. I'll dwell over it tonight and then move on tomorrow.
Are you sure? I mean,
I knew there'd be deaths when I first took this position. I'll stop being affected by it eventually.
no.
It's
Always
not
be affected
weakness
by it.
to feel affected by death.
Keep going. Sorry.
One who stops being affected by it is someone who stops feeling remorse when they cause it.
Agreed.
It is okay not to move on immediately.
It's okay to feel. It's not healthy nor safe to just bottle up emotion.
My family left me a certain set of beliefs. I think today proves that I should start following them.
And what beliefs are those?
You should be strong. And with that strength, you should not feel remorse over your actions. You should only feel if they are right or wrong.
You can be strong and still feel. You can still have remorse over actions, right or wrong. It's just the confidence to make a decision.
I know one thing. I stood and I watched you, Eowyn, and that was the most beautiful, respectful thing I've ever seen anyone do. And I'm proud to say I'm your friend.
Don't lose feeling. Make your choices the way that you want to make them, but never take emotion out of it. If you do, then you will never feel remorse. You will never feel right or wrong. You will only feel emptiness. And that's not fulfilling in any life. And that doesn't help anybody. So allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to mourn. Allow yourself to regret. Allow yourself to be happy, joyful, excited. But whatever you do it with a full heart. Not halfway.
Yeah. That's the joy of life, good or bad. Doing it full and completely. Appreciate the valleys because then the mountaintops become even more wonderful.
It's hard to appreciate something I wanted nothing to do with.
That may be true. But you gave her the choice. And you had the choice to make it painless or painful. You had the choice of allowing her to live or allowing her to die. But you gave her that choice to make for herself. And that's what she chose. And you respected that. Now, whatever consequences we deal with is what we deal with. But allow yourself to feel. Because if you don't, you're going to create an abyss, a lack of feeling. And when you become numb to all feeling, then you won't be able to tell which is right and which is wrong.
And you become a monster.
And we all know you don't want to become that. Just know that we're here. Have we done some things that we're not proud of in our lives, separately and together? For sure. But you're not alone. Don't think that you are for 1 second.
Eowyn,
If you want,
you've been granted
Yeah.
inspiration by the chat. This is the emotional moment.
if you want to talk, I'm here.
Do you really believe a talk will help with everything that's happened?
Sometimes it can. Just getting your emotions out, good, bad, angry, sad, whatever. Sometimes it can. And if you're not comfortable with talking to me, you can talk to Ayla or Slaren or any of us. And if you're not comfortable with that, I'm going to tell you the same thing that Kiki and Islaren told me to do, and that's journal. I journal because sometimes I don't want everybody to hear my emotional vomit, as I call it. The choice is yours, my friend. And I'll say it again. You always have a choice. I mean, if it makes you feel better, you can go yell at Twilight.
I appreciate the offer, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's not.
screaming.
He's not the reason I'm upset. You know, I only love libraries so much because I wanted one myself. I thought they were a place of peace.
They are. Apparently, depending on the library.
A place of peace, escape from the world. But I wasn't allowed to follow through with my dreams. Seeing as I was the eldest son,
Well, I know that somewhere, I mean, I'm certain that there is, I mean, somebody in Longstriders that could potentially send you to a safe library. Maybe we could ask when we get back to Nausha.
there's no need for that. This is the path that's been carved for me by my family, and I will continue to follow it. I just
Was that?
thought it'd be nice if someone knew, in case anything happened.
Covet reiterates what Islaren just asked. What path is that?
My father will only look at me again if I become a leader. To prove my worth to him.
You're valuable. You're
No,
invaluable.
not enough for him.
And is short-sighted. Cannot see what is right in front of him.
Great.
I understand.
Sorry.
I understand. Need to win the parent approval. No matter how much you tell yourself, truthfully, you are on the right path, that you are doing the right thing. That need never goes away, does it?
It never does. But you find those that where that your value means more to. And you realize soon enough, you are enough. And she looks at Covet. I mean, she looks at Twilight. She looks at Miss Lauren, Ayla, Winkle, because she feels it in her own heart. I'm old enough to be a human's grandmother. And it's taken me a long time to realize that I'm enough. Just because I'm surrounded by people who think I am. And I'm going to tell you now what has taken me years to realize is that you are enough. You're worthy. You're cared for. And enough. So if you still want to walk this path with the knowledge that you are enough, that is fine. But don't forget that you are to us.
I'm too far down this path.
Oh, absolutely not. There are never absolutes. There are never no returns. There are never no U-turns. There is no going backs. There's always a choice. Always a what do I do now? And whether or not you decide to take a step forward or a step back is entirely up to you.
How can I lead a peaceful life with so much blood on my hands?
So, and that's what I was trying to show you before is once you've carried out what was asked of you, every other action after that point in time is your own. Only thing that you were asked to do was deliver something. Whether or not you stayed, whether or not you left, whether or not you healed, recovered, rescued, or otherwise, all of that is within the realm of possibility and is nothing more than a choice. Each one is a different step, a path, or otherwise. Do you have to have blood on your hands? No. No, you don't. Does it always have to result in death? Only for those whose time it has come, and it is our obligation to make sure that they meet with MKO. But that's only for those that are destined to be at the end of their line. It is nothing more than a series of actions, reactions, and counteractions. Each one a pathway, a fork, a choice. There is no, is this the right path or the wrong path? There's nothing more than to be evaluated by what you believe is to be right or wrong or otherwise. There is no absolutes.
Human, as your party has tried to comfort you and to let you know that you are enough, that you are worthwhile, and that you did the best you could in Chunju. The adventure before you That is yours. Where you go and what you do is no longer dominated by your parents. You're free and on a ship sailing the western waves of Toivoa with friends that care about you, with adventures that you never thought you could possibly imagine. You've grown, and the stories and skills you've gained in this adventure have set you up for success should you ever decide to take over the Blue Cloaks. Your goals are becoming more focused. They're more achievable. You're seeing a way forward here. What you've wanted lies before you. And your wife lives in Chunju. The implications of this, at least for now, are daunting. As you stare off into the sea with your friends at your side, you're able to get a sense of peace, at least for a moment. How does your character feel? Do they feel hope or despair?
Everyone feels extremely conflicted.
That's valid. There's a lot to be conflicted about at the moment. The stressors that you've faced, that you've been put through. No one should be going through this stuff. The decisions you've had to make, no one should have to make these decisions. The world isn't fair, and you have been treated unfairly by it. This has been a rough day, but as the sun begins to set, the beautiful sunset to the west reflects off the sea and illuminates the ship that you're on in a warm orange glow. There is hope out there, though. There is. Now, as you continue sailing southwards, where else will the travel of the Manigath's might lead? Are you guys going to be going to Yaroon? Or will you guys head further south and skip the joining of Shu and Corlin? That's up to you as you begin planning your route southwards. Because you never know. It really could be us against the gods. So, before we end for the day and have you take your long rest, I'm going to pull up the map and we're going to have a little bit of discussion between the crew of the ship and your GM. Where would you guys like to go after you've left Chunju? Where are we sailing to?
My vote is to go straight through to Quarter Gruel.
Okay.
That's my vote also.
Totally skip
Yaroon?
Yaroon. I would say that because,
Okay.
I mean, as much as I would love to get the political side of it, I'm very hesitant at the moment.
You don't want to get information on the Lady of Shadows
Yeah,
early?
I to, but at the same time, we're supposed to go in there completely disguised. I would rather go in disguised once.
Disguised?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Yep.
Great.
That was one of the explicit instructions to me.
Awesome. So,
Well, Twilight could go in as a Twilight disguise.
all right.
We-
So,
Twilight in disguise.
Oh boy.
Winkle, are you
Transformer.
planning to go to Cordray Gruel, or do you want to stop in your rune? Because we do take votes from everybody.
I know nothing about Yarun in reality, so I think I would skip it.
Okay. And Eowyn. Any reason to stop in your rune?
No.
Nope. All right. So, when we return in 2025, you guys will be sailing to Cordray Gruel.
That's not ominous whatsoever.
God, that art's gorgeous. though.
And we will go ahead and end there for today. And we'll come back next year for the next episode
Wow.
of Us Against the Gods. As always, guys, thank you so much for choosing me to be your GM. There's a ton of amazing ones out there, and I'm always, always, always thankful that you choose me to be yours. We will be back next week for the Battle Royale. That will not be streamed live, but rather restreamed immediately after the Battle Royale ends. So come hang out. That's going to be a lot of fun, and that's how we give out the GM Eric Bomber Jacket once per event. Those are really, really cool. That's the only way to get one. I don't even have one. So check those out. It's going to be a good time of PvP. It's going to be a wonderful time. Otherwise, guys, we will be back tomorrow for Beneath Fallen Skies. And for those on Twitch, thanks for coming and hanging out. We are going to go ahead and raid someone, so stick around for a few moments so that we can raid with as many people as possible. But again, guys, have a happy holidays. Please stay safe. And check out the Patreon over at patreon.com/GMEric. Watch the FYI channel for the one-shot announcements, etc. And check out gmeric.com, where I now have a team page where I show my employees. So go check that out, guys. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. We'll catch you guys later.